Welcome to chillTV News of the Week and PENNER's Politburo. I'm pleased to be joined here today by Diane Janzen, who will be a familiar face to many people in our community. It's nice to see you again, Diane.
Great to be here.
You are the Executive Director of Chilliwack Community Services. I believe you've been doing that for about 3 years now?
Yes.
A little bit more than that? But this week, you've made an announcement that you are seeking to shake things up in politics here and are interested in a new job. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have in mind?
Absolutely. So on Monday, I announced my intention to run for the nomination of the BC Liberals in the Chilliwack riding. I was approached about 5 months ago by a group of citizens who asked me if I would consider doing that. So I took quite a bit of time talking to people and thinking about that, and I made the decision to throw my hat in the ring.
All right. So as you know, there is currently a sitting member of the Legislative Assembly, or MLA for short, in the constituency you're interested in. It's represented currently by Mr. John Martin, who's also a member of the BC Liberal Party, first elected in 2013 and then re-elected in the last provincial election in 2017. What do you think you can offer to provincial voters in that riding that haven't been receiving from Mr. Martin?
Well, when I spoke with the individuals that I talked about, there are a number of things that I'm really quite concerned about. The first is healthcare. So we have 25,000 people here in Chilliwack without a doctor, and it has devastating consequences. I was speaking with someone the other day who actually wasn't able to get care here in Chilliwack. I'd moved from Vancouver and landed up having a heart attack because he couldn't get into his doctor. And so this has persisted when you think that a quarter of our population doesn't have access to good health care. We have maternity closures, which I think is absolutely unheard of. We have one of the highest birth rates in the province, and we're experiencing closures. It doesn't make any sense at all. Affordability, that's another thing I want to work on. I think that right now the issue of housing is hugely important, not just in the homelessness front, but if, for example, you have a job where you're making $17, $18 an hour, you cannot afford the rent. Infrastructure. So we have gridlock between here and Vancouver, and I think our #1 highway needs to be treated like a #1 priority. So those are a few things I want to work on, and in responding as well to a lot of people that I've spoken to.
So I'm curious, have you spoken to John Martin about your decision? And if so, how does he feel about your challenge?
I did speak with him. I went for coffee with him about a month ago. And so I did inform him of what my intentions were, and then on the day that I decided to actually put my name forward, I sent him an email to tell him I was doing that. So I think it was a bit of a surprise. As far as his reaction, well, I think you'd have to talk to him about that.
We will try to do so in the next week or two. What has been the reaction of the BC Liberal Party so far? Challenges to sitting MLAs or MPs from someone within their party is really quite rare in Canadian and British Columbia politics. Of course, it has happened at least once before here in the Chilliwack riding, a long time ago, it seems. But it's seldom that a party's incumbent loses the nomination to run under their banner in the next election, unless, of course, the incumbent voluntarily decides not to seek re-election and retires from politics. Have you been told if the BC Liberal Party will permit their incumbent MLAs to be challenged in an open nomination?
So where the BC Liberals are sitting right now is that they're at the beginning of their nomination process. So they have issued an email that says they have open nominations for 11 of those ridings. So, and that includes Abbotsford South, for example. I've had this question asked a number of times. I would take everybody back to 1995. When the current sitting MLA was challenged by a number of people, and that individual, there was an individual that was successful, and his name was Barry Penner.
I've met him.
And, yes, and he went on to represent us ably for 16 years. So what I would say is, and one of the reasons I was attracted to the BC Liberals is that they're a Democratic Party, and they allow members to make the decision about who they want to see as their candidate. I also jokingly say this is not the Canadian Senate. So my interest is in raising memberships and in being a compelling force within our community to advance us forward.
Right. Does this, though, create a problem for Andrew Wilkinson, the leader of the BC Liberal Party? On the one hand, if he allows open nominations and challenges to his incumbent MLAs, he might be criticized for not defending his MLAs and not showing loyalty to them, while at the same time he's demanding loyalty from them to maintain his position as leader. And certainly I can imagine the media would speculate on that. And on the other hand, if he doesn't allow an open nomination process, as you've pointed out, he could be accused of not permitting a democratic process to unfold in the party. Any idea what Mr. Wilkinson's thoughts are on this matter?
Well, what I would say is that one of the things I've been very impressed with about the party was about a year and a half ago, there was a call for party renewal. And there was in the call, it was interesting. They didn't say, for any unheld ridings, we are interested in people who are interested in running. They said, we want to call forward all names of individuals who are interested in representing their communities. So I took my call from that position by the BC Liberals, and I would hope that they would continue to look for the best qualified candidates across British Columbia. We have some huge issues here, and affordability, concerns over fiscal responsibility with the NDP, auto insurance rates the highest in North America, gas prices the highest in North America, and I think one of the things I'd like to do is defend the 2.6 million British Columbians that get up every day and go to work, because they're the ones getting hammered with 19 taxes, and they're the ones not getting ahead.
The next provincial election could be as much as 2 years away. Of course, in a minority situation as we have at the legislature currently, it could be sooner. But according to the fixed calendar, it's now 2 years out. October 2021 is the next scheduled election. When do you think the nomination meeting will be held here in the Chilliwack riding?
Well, I would imagine, although I haven't been told this directly, generally political parties like to see their nominees in place within about a year of an election call. I think a lot of people are saying it's very unlikely that there'll be an early election. The Greens don't have a leader. Things are tight in the polls. So, but I think it's pretty indicative when they go and start issuing, now we're going to look at nominations in these ridings. So I would imagine between now and October 2020 sometime, I would imagine that would get done, but we'll have to wait to see what the party does.
All right, well, last question. Assuming the party does allow an open nomination process to take place here, how do you go about selling memberships in this era? In the old days, when I was involved getting started, we had to find membership books.
Right.
And that could be tightly controlled by the party. It was one way the party could keep a grip on things. How are you signing up people now in the year 2019?
So I think in some ways it's not different from the way it was, which is you need to contact people that you know. So I'm on the phones contacting people. There is, and just to put in a shameless plug for myself, just go on to the BC Liberal website, type in BC Liberal membership and sign up. So I'm, one of the things that
$10 gives you a 4-year membership?
Absolutely.
Unless you're a youth, and I believe youth is 14 to 25
That's right.
years of age and is $5.
Yes, absolutely. So it's not a difficult process at all. Also, I think there is an opportunity to actually get forms if you're not comfortable doing it online. So I can certainly facilitate that, but I'd say give me a call, text me, 604-819-6627. I'll get you a form, I'll get you hooked up.
Operators are standing by.
Yeah, absolutely.
I should point out to our viewers, in case they're wondering, we do have, of course, another MLA representing a different portion of the Chilliwack-Kent riding. That's called the Chilliwack-Kent riding, and that's Lori Thronis. But the constituency that you're interested in is the one that's just called Chilliwack.
That's right.
And does not involve Mr. Thronis.
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Diane, for speaking with me and answering our questions, and for joining chillTV's viewers. Please keep us posted on any developments, and watch this space as we hope to speak with MLA John Martin about this and other topics in the near future. I'm Barry Penner, and this has been Penner's Politburo on chillTV News of the Week.